and welcome to the JCB Golf Country Club here in Uttoxeter, England. It's a pretty special place and a spectacular field has been assembled this week for the 6th event of the Legends Tour season 2022. It started with the first Legends Tour win for Scotsman Ewan McIntosh. He fought off several challengers to claim the Riegler & Partner Legends. Jersey Legends was decided by a 3-hole playoff where debutant Richard Green pipped Paul Lawrie. Lawrie then managed to go one better the following week with a wire-to-wire victory in the Farm Foods European Legends Links in Cornwall. James Kingston came out on top, winning the Swiss Seniors Open. And playoff king Richard Green then won his second of the year victory in the Winston Open, beating Philip Archer after 5 extra holes. The majors in America were picked up by Steve Alker and Padraig Harrington. And then, by coincidence, the winner of last week's Senior British Open at Gleneagles is the host this week on the Legends Tour at the JCB, Mr. Darren Clarke. Do I welcome you or you welcome me?
Yeah, it's probably me welcoming you, Georgie.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. What an amazing place this is.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Now, let's first of all talk about the weather and a very tricky Sunday. How pleased are you to join that illustrious club of winners of the Senior Open and the Open Championship?
Yeah, you know, to be only the 4th person to actually do it, Georgie, so quite humbling actually, you know, to take a look at the 3 people that have done it before me, Sir Bob Charles, Tom Watson and Gary Player. You know, that's a illustrious list of legends in the game, so to be able to join them, and you know, I'm very fortunate. And some of the guys came at me on the back 9, and you know, I stuck to what I was trying to do, trying to minimise my mistakes, and got there in the end.
This looks to me to be an incredible venue for the Legends Tour, perfect for the Legends Tour actually.
Yes, they've been very welcoming. You know, it's a testament to a place. If any member of staff that you speak to, they don't say no, they find a way to say yes, and that's what they do here at the JCB.
I can't help but notice the sway you have in bringing a star-studded field this week. There's some amazing names.
Yeah, there is Hall of Famers and, you know, just legends of the game, and it's wonderful that they've decided to come and play and you know, to show off JCB, where hopefully we'll get people to come and watch this week, and to be able to go and watch players like Vijay Singh, like John Bailey, like Ernie Eales, just to name a few, but people maybe that come and watch this never seen those guys play before. You know, it's wonderful that they've actually taken the time and put it in their schedule, their busy schedule, to come and play.
Not only have we got a star-studded field, this is quite a big course. What kind of a test does this provide this week?
Well, I think, you know, first and foremost, you gotta drive it well this week, George. If you start missing these fairways into that rough, you're going to have a very difficult time to keep it on the greens for your second shots or third shots or whatever. And the greens there's a lot of slope and a lot of greens, so if you have the ability and you're on your yardage with your irons and able to hit it into the right quadrants, you'll have a pretty close birdie putt. But if you don't, you're going to have a pretty tough first putt, and you know, you're going to have to come up on over hills and slopes and all sorts of bits and pieces. So the challenge is you've got to be on the fairway to be going into these greens, and then when you're on the fairway, you've got to get the wind right and you've got to get your yardage right. And if you don't do that, you're probably going to be posting too many high numbers.
Thank you, Darren. Coming up, we'll get the latest from the Celebrity Series and find out who's making the field for the final in the Seychelles later this year. But it's time to get you some first and second round action from the Legends Tour here at the JCB. Your commentary team, Michael McMullen and Paul Eales.
Well, thanks very much, Georgie, and as we congratulate Darren on his thrilling win at Gleneagles, this event is a really fitting follow-up. One of the strongest fields ever assembled on the Legends Tour features 9 regular Tour major champions, including 6 multiple major winners. One of those is Jose Maria Olazábal. Now 56 years of age, the 2-time green jacket wearer started with a 1-over-par 73. The only 4-time major winner teeing it up this week is Ernie Eales, showing some of his touch around the greens on the way to finishing round 1 at level par. And here's Alex Chaker-Paul, twice a senior major winner last year.
Yeah, the 4 par 5s all reachable. This is the 3rd dogleg from right to left, but this is where it gets interesting for the players because the green slopes massively from left to right, and just to the right of this flag, as we're looking at this ball now, there is a canal. Stop now.
Eagle there on the way to 69. He would eagle it again on day 2. Vijay Singh matched that 69, chipping in along the way at 17. All smiles for the Fijian and playing partner Darren Clarke. The new Senior Open champion had reason to be pleased with his own efforts at the short 17th, where he made the last of 8 birdies in a round of 67.
Yeah, wonderful par 3, really exciting. A severe green, and the pin tucked on the left-hand side there. That's a great shot from Darren.
Retief Goosen has already been a winner in the States this year, and he was straight into his rhythm with a fine approach to the first, starting a run which saw him birdie all of the first 3 holes. Goosen got it to 8 under before a couple of late bogeys. Still in his first year among the over 50s, Jeev Milkha Singh also made it to 8 under par and stayed there in a bogey-free 64.
Great to see Jeev out with us after his wrist injuries.
But none of them could keep up with James Kingston, a Legends Tour winner last year, and this, he shot 62.
Whenever I had a putt, I seemed to see the line and made a good stroke and seemed to go in. Once I got going, I could feel I was in control of what I was doing. To be honest, it was a beautiful day.
So beautiful, in fact, that Kingston led by 2 shots after a day of low scoring in good conditions, Paul.
Yes, except for me, I was 75 on a perfect day. But round 2, the wind picked up and it was a very, very different challenge for the guys out there.
Well, John Daly still draws a good crowd every time he plays. Winner of the Open and the PGA in his 90s heyday, Daly started with 74, but improved by 4 strokes in round 2.
And John Daly, it was great to see Christina Kim caddying for him, Solheim Cup legend.
Playing in the same group, Colin Montgomery followed his opening 69 with a disappointing 74, but still had moments to remember along the way, including this at the 9th.
Yeah, only a new course of JCB, but this 9th hole looks like it's been there for years and years and years. A great little amphitheatre for the crowds that were out in force watching these legends play.
And also in that group, another Ryder Cup winning captain almost did even better on the same hole. Paul McGinley so close to a memorable ace, as 70 was followed with 68.
Well, unfortunately, we don't see too much of Paul McGinley these days on the Legends Tour because he's spending so much time in the commentary box, and great words he has as well for us all.
Jeev Milkha Singh still hadn't dropped a shot in the whole tournament until a double bogey at the 9th halted his progress. The Indian star went on from there to shoot 73. And yet he didn't lose any ground on the lead. In those more challenging conditions, Kingston took 12 shots more than he had on day 1. Despite 5 birdies, the overnight leader slumped to a 74, but he was only 1 behind with a round to go. The new leader was Cheka. Birdie at the short 17th took him to 6 under for the day, but he needed to get up and down from a greenside bunker on 18 to complete a bogey-free round. And with a fine closing putt, the German did just that. 66, the joint best round of day 2.
I made some good putts today, even some for par, but I hit it solid. I hit a lot of fairways, that gave me a lot of great shots into the pin. So I'm really pleased.
So he enjoys a 1-shot lead over Kingston, with JM Singh a shot further back. Cheka's 66 matched only by Mark James, who beat his age by 2, and is one of 10 players within 4 shots of Cheka's lead. It's the final round of the JCB Championship, one of the standout events of the 2022 Legends Tour, where Alex Cheka is the man to catch. Colin Montgomery had it all to do, starting the day 8 behind, but he birdied the first, then the second, and although his eagle attempt slid by here on 3, he tapped in to pull another one back. A much more likely challenger with only 4 strokes to make up was Darren Clarke, and a morale-boosting birdie putt on the opening green is the ideal way to start that task. Mark James' wonderful 66 of day 2 had given him hope of a first win on this tour for 13 years. But he found trouble off the first tee, so although this was a good approach, 2 putts from there meant bogey. Retief Goosen had shot 66 on the first day, but could only follow up with 72 to trail by 3, one of which he clawed back at the first hole. And as the final group starts out, Paul, tell us about this opener.
Well, it's a splendid opening hole, water all the way down the left-hand side, and that bunker comes into play with the drivers. So you've got to make sure you're clear in your own intentions off the tee. Do you want to lay short of the bunker and go right, or take the water in the bunker on and go left with the driver, leaving a shorter second shot into a really undulating green? You can see Jeeve here out with the 3-wood. He's aiming at the bunker up the right hand side. This shouldn't be enough club to reach. And that's a good centered hit from Jeeve there. You can see 153 miles per hour on the ball speed, and a good choice of club off the tee.
James Kingston, such a well-liked man out on tour and establishing himself as a really consistent performer on this circuit.
Yeah, James again out with the 3-wood just to make sure he's short of the bunker on the right, which is your aiming point. If you tug it too far left, that's a longer carry down the left-hand side.
So Alex Chaker, the only man to shoot both rounds in the 60s so far, do it again today, and he's going to be very hard to stop.
Also out with the 3-metal. 3 contrasting techniques, but 3 very similar results.
As the final group make their way from the first tee to fairway, these are their final moments of tranquility before they hit the crowds. 10 players going off within 4 shots of each other, so it promises to be an enthralling final round.
In Goosen's heyday on the regular tour, Paul, we were so used to seeing him up there in big events, and here he is contending again.
Yes, just risk and reward again. The second hole here, short par 4 that could be driven, but Retief laying up and pitching into there.
Now surely the big story of yesterday was Mark James, 66, a wonderful effort, 68 years of age.
Always been a pure ball striker. Oh, and you can see there just spinning back off the slope. Great strike, Jesse.
Chaker on his way to the opening green. Made such a flying start to his career among the over 50s with those 2 major wins, but hasn't won again in over a year since.
Big tilt from right to left on this opening green. Oh, what a shot from Alex.
And how much does that do for you when you're under the pressure of leading a tournament into the final round, when you stick one like that into the opening green? Can Kingston emulate him?
Yeah, distance control important, as Darren Clarke was telling us. If you can get them in the right part of the green, you've got a tap in birdie. Oh, just a bit short from James. Stay there. Oh, wow. Heart in your mouth time.
Vijay Singh with an outside chance to make a big move here. He's 4 behind. He can cut that in half in one go, but a long way from the hole.
Just watch this turn to the right in a moment. It's almost coming to a stop. And down it goes now. It's accelerating. Terrific effort from Vijay there.
And even with that, he's left himself some distance. That shows you what a hard 2-putt it was from there.
Yeah, limping a bit. Had a poorly foot this week, so great to see him out.
I'd love to see more of this guy out on tour, and the way he's playing, you feel if he did play a more regular schedule, he could be up there quite frequently.
Yeah, busy man, Paul McGinley, what with European Tour Group board duties and his media stuff in America.
And of course hosting the Irish Legends at Rosapenna in a few weeks' time.
Slow putt here for James, swinging from right to left for an opening birdie. Just not getting the pace there on the opening green, but a 4's always a good score here on this tricky first hole.
So Kingston remains at 8 under par. 1 behind Cheka, but probably not for long. Now, people use the word trailblazer a bit too readily these days, but I think it really applies to Singh, the first Indian ever to get into the top 100 in the world and become a real player on the big stage.
Yes, sporting heritage as well. His father was an Olympian. And the movie's come out as well on the life of his father, which Jeev is very, very proud of, and rightly so. Run Milka Run, I think the title is. Worth a watch.
From one Singh to another, we saw a really good first putt from Vijay from the edge of the green. Still needs another decent one for birdie. So many big names getting themselves onto the fringes of contention here.
Yeah, well done Vijay, got that first putt onto the right bit of the green, and that was a lovely birdie 4 there. Crowds were great all week, and Phil Price, who is good with the wedges and normally makes lots of birdies on par 5s, and there's another one. Well done Pricey.
Can you believe it's 20 years this year, Paul, since he had that famous win over Mickelson at the Ryder Cup?
Tell him who I beat, the lefty slayer, Phil Mickelson. Well done Pricey.
Someone else who knows all about the Ryder Cup. Missing a chance to repair the damage of the opening hole, though.
That was a wonderful score from Jess the day before, 66, beating his age by 2.
Mark James has been around so long, Paul. He was actually born the year Ben Hogan won the Open. That's a thought, isn't it?
Oh, Carnoustie, 1953.
Very good. It was the only year he played in it. Now, this man has won 2 US Opens, contended in so many other majors. He was at the peak of his powers. This for a birdie start. Didn't really get that close in the end. Well, that's okay.
There's a real tricky pin position there. Not a lot of green at all, but one of these holes that you think you should make a 3, but walk to the par 5 third with a 4 on the scorecard. You're always happy.
What a wonderful field it is. Big names, major champions, Ryder Cup legends, including this man. Played in it 3 times, on the winning team every time, then he captained a winning team. But with that, he slips back here to 5 under. Well, we did think that Kingston probably wouldn't stay 1 behind for very long. That's because Cheka has this short putt on the opening green to get himself into double figures.
Flag in for Alex. Some players do, some players don't. He does. What a great start. Fantastic opening approach shot there for Alex.
The simplest of tasks then for Cheka to swiftly go 2 clear. Clark making the best start of all the front runners with 2 birdies in the first 3 holes. Now Tongchai Jaidi has made even greater progress, a quality approach to the 8th, giving him a 3rd birdie of the day. The man from Thailand with a real spring in his step now. Bogey at the 2nd for Paul McGinley was cancelled out by a first birdie of the day 2 holes later, so par here at the 5th means the popular Irishman is where he teed off at 6 under. Clark dropped his first shot of the day at number 4 and was in danger of following up with another bogey, but in the end it was to be a tap-in par. Now a hand coming off the club on the follow-through is always a bad sign. But for Vijay Singh at the 5th, it didn't mean a bad outcome. from there he would safely make par on the way to being out in 34. All pars for Kingston by the time he reached the 5th. Continuing that sequence was in some doubt after the tee shot, but he got up and down to keep it going.
James with big Steve Rawlinson on his back, keeping him nice and calm as he usually does. Great lad, Steve.
Chaker taking an unusual approach in his bid to eagle the 3rd in all 3 rounds.
Yeah, chip shot's actually easier than a putt. He would have had to have gone miles left in the aim with the putt, so he chose to chip to take the ridge out, and that's a very, very good shot from Alex.
Yeah, and he got his birdie, which was followed by par at the 4th, and then an agonising miss with his birdie attempt at the 5th hole.
How did that not go in? Unbelievable. Condition of the greens perfect at the JCB Club for the week.
Better outcome at 6, as Chaker continued to prove himself a strong front runner here. And with just 1 to play before the turn, he now enjoys a 3-shot advantage over Kingston. Laurie and Singer in contention, but both are probably going to need a strong closing stretch. So much for these great crowds to enjoy aside from the action, including a Q&A with the tournament host himself at the JCB Championship.
Throughout the season, Celebrity Series events are being played, with spots in the grand final in the Seychelles up for grabs. When the field assembles in the Indian Ocean, there will be money for the celebrities' chosen charities to play for. The celebrities were out in force, a bumper field. Legends of golf, of sport, music and film, a wild thing here, a Weasley twin there.
He is a crazy man, a crazy Swedish man.
All the big names here to stake their claim for a place in the Celebrity Series Grand Final in the Seychelles later this year. Scotland rugby legend Gavin Hastings turning on the style on the first here. Crooner Brian McFadden attempting to go low on the par 5 third. And even former fast bowlers need help with line and length, as Darren Goff and Jeev Milka sing show. Not bad. And to race legend Damon Hill, greenside on the first. Very handy little chip from him. Well, I presume the former striker Teddy Sheringham was already down for the points here. It was a fiercely fought day. England bowler James Anderson came out ahead in the Celebrity Series field. He will be invited to go to the Indian Ocean later this year. And as if that wasn't enough, everyone was in for an extra treat after play when John Daly stepped up to the grill to deliver the steaks.
And the stakes really are high as we get into the meat of the final round. Describe the 9th for us, Paul.
Yeah, beautiful par 3 elevated tee, goes down about 10 metres or so, but on the final day the pin was cut 36 on in the centre, so choices for the players here. There is a ridge that goes across the green. Can you just land it over the ridge and let the ball work down to the flag, or do you take it all the way up and try and pitch it pin high? Let's see what Jesse does here. Just clears the ridge and the ball feeds down, and he knows what he's doing, you know, this fella.
Textbook stuff, isn't it? He's been a pro since 1976. Had his first win on the European Tour a couple of years after that. Still got all the enthusiasm.
A wonderful design. You can see the crowd right on top of the tee box there and all around the amphitheatre green. Wonderful spot this 9th, and a super hole as well. Gives the player choices off the tee. Now what's Paul McGinley going to do? Is he going to fly it there, or is he going to use the ridge? He's going to use the ridge. Watch this one work its way down. Go on. Go on. Oh, it's done you, Jesse.
He would have got long odds against anyone getting inside Mark James's effort, but Paul McGinley has managed it. So he should go to 7 under. And this man, a 3-time major champion, is already there, looking for further advancement.
Yeah, beautiful hole, this 11th. Dogleg from left to right, and the creek running in front of the green. Great putt from VJ.
Around about the mid-2000s, he, Woods, Els, Mickelson, absolute Goliaths of the game at that time. And this man was in that category as well for a number of years. Retief Goosen.
And this is a quick putt for a 2 from the back of the 9th. Will it make it? No. I did a similar thing, Retief. You should have been there an hour before. You'd have seen that.
So he's out in a level par 36. Now, as we're on the 9th, Paul, we've got to mention the exploits of David Shacklady. Birdie in round 1 on that hole, birdie again in round 2, and then a hole-in-one in the final round. He's played it in 5 shots over the 3 days.
Yeah, fantastic stuff from Ormskirk's David Shacklady. Played with a lengthy putt on day 1, but to knock it in the hole, and the crowd, we could hear the noise. So entertaining the spectators, David Shacklady.
Mark James converting there. Paul McGinley should do likewise. And that means he's under par for his front 9 and still very much in contention for a win here. Out in 35. Paul Lawrie, well, he knows better than anyone how to come from behind on the final day. He'll always be remembered for winning the Open from 10 adrift on the Sunday morning. This is for eagle at 12. Not to be, but he'll be more than satisfied with his 4th birdie in the last 7 holes. Already a winner on the Legends this season. Not beyond the realms. He could repeat the feat here.
Another player playing with the ever-popular yellow golf ball. I think us oldies can see it a little bit better than the white one. You won't know that though, Michael.
Not for a very long time yet, Paul.
Now there's a great view of the 9th and the trees. Looks like that hole's been there for years and years. What's Alex going to do? He's aggressive. He'll probably fly it all the way there. And there's the other option that this hole gives the players. Behind the pin, another fantastic iron shot from Alex.
Kingston is one of those really global players. He won in South Africa, Germany, Thailand, South Korea, Myanmar, Swaziland, Namibia. And that was all just during his regular tour career. He's had a few wins among the over 50s already as well. And that shot keeps him right in the mix for another success today.
The view of the second shot into 11. This green tilts massively from right to left, so expect this ball to be finishing a little short and right in terms of pitching, and then let the ground do the work. There it goes. Beautiful shot from Marcus. And that's just knowing the course.
Such a great start for Darren Clarke, but he hasn't really kept it going. Only 1 under for his round.
Darren a bit closer with a little wedge in there. Should create a little more backspin here. Oh, he flies it beyond, and he's using the slope again. So even though it looks like a tight shot to that pin from there, actually there's a lot of room long and right. So again, knowing the course.
Been a quiet day so far for Kingston. 1 birdie, 1 bogey. This to get into red figures for his round and be out in 35. It was a tricky one from there, Paul, but he gave it a good chance.
Oh, day 1, 62. The hole would have looked like a bucket. And James must be thinking on that front 9, have they put any holes in these greens today? Frustrating. That's golf.
When you're in front and playing well, got to keep your foot to the floor. Try to build on that advantage. Chance here, but this is tricky as well. From similar sort of angle.
Yeah, big misread from Alex there. Thought it was going to swing a lot more than it did. Foot to the floor. Part of the Berlin 4. We were stuck in Alex's car trying to get to the German Masters, and we all missed our tee times. 1994.
Marcus Breer, someone with a good pedigree on this tour. Well, it was a good chance though to haul himself up the leaderboard. No mistaking his frustration over that.
frustrating because all the players know how good these greens have been at the JCB this week. And Alex tidying up for his par.
Darren Clarke fading out of the picture a bit. Really needed to make something happen at 11. Should oblige here. Still a lot of ground to make up, but just the sort of player who could go on a charge. Paul Lawrie looking the most convincing challenger now, although Singh and Kingston do have more holes left than him as they pursue Cheka, who's talking to Georgie.
Alex, we're over halfway. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. It's a little bit tricky. As you can see, it's blowing pretty good, and they tucked the pins in the corners today, so you got to hit good shots. But I'm playing well. When I missed the green, I made up a couple up and down, so far I'm pleased.
You have been here before. Do you mind being the man to be chased?
Yeah, I like to be in this position. The more often you are in this position, the more you learn, and the more you can bring it home. So, I like it. I just got to finish strong the next 9 holes.
I can see you relishing it. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Kingston looks to be relishing the challenge as well. Having started for home with birdie, this drive set him on the way to another at 12.
It's a great hole, the 12th risk and reward par 4. That's not a bunker on the right, that's a water hazard that eats into the front of the green. And James has negotiated that really well. No backspin on that one because he's hitting the driver.
Montgomery wasn't quite able to keep up the fast pace with which he started, but par at the 18th completed a 68, his best round of the week.
And our hole-in-one ace, David Shacklady, enjoying his round with Colin Montgomery, as we all do. Always great to play with Monty.
Up and over the hill to set up par on 17 for Lawrie. Another at the last saw him round in 69 for a total of 7 under. The wind really starting to pick up at this stage, but few players are as accustomed to that as Clarke, whose par save at 14 kept him in with a chance.
Good 3 on the 14th, that wind blowing right behind the players there, not easy to find the putting green, but Darren makes a 3.
The other Irish contender perhaps running out of holes, but McGinley at least had to avoid dropping a shot on 17, and he managed to do that in style.
Great skills from Paul all week, said he'd scrambled really well and obviously benefited from playing the week before.
Cheka opened the door a bit with a 6 at the long 13th, but when it looked as though another shot might go at the next hole, a textbook sand save averted the prospect. And with a pair of pars to follow, Cheka is now 11 under. McGinley and Clarke probably both need to sign off with birdie and hope the German slips up. He's looking pretty solid right now though, and perhaps just 2 holes away from the title. Welcome back to the climax of the final round at the JCB Championship, a brand new event on the Legends Tour. It's been a good week for Vijay Singh. Par here at the last means 70 and a 7 under total for the Masters champion of 22 years ago. Dropping a shot on 17 meant Darren Clarke simply had to birdie the last to retain any hope of winning. He nearly did, but it's a 69 for the tournament host.
So after winning last week and being chased, unfortunately a frustrating week for Darren, not being able to get those putts in to contend, but another great week for the genial Northern Irishman.
Yeah, now we need to break the putter. He finishes on 8 under. Probably won't win this now. McGinley, though, and at a push Kingston can still deny Alex Cheka as he comes to the penultimate hole.
Yeah, great hole for us. Fortunately, the tournament staff played as 2 tees forward. 204 yards it played for us. There's a 20-metre drop down to the green and over the lake to a really difficult undulating green. And the pin was cut 28 on, 4 off the left with a little ridge just to the right. So no room left of that flag at all.
He'll always be associated with the year 1995. Hadn't won on the European Tour prior to that, but had 3 victories in one season, including the Volvo Masters. best year of his career.
Yeah, Alex's ball pitching perfectly into the ridge there that all the players would be aiming for. Unfortunately for him, it just kicked a little to the right, but safely aboard the green.
And as for Retief Goosen, we'll always associate him with the US Open. Won it twice, 2001, 2004, and had a 3-shot lead into the final round the next year. Crumbled to an 81 though.
And as you drop down to the 17th green, you climb up to the 18th green, so whatever the number is, you add a club for the slope.
Well, Kingston's got to be thinking birdie birdie to finish now, but 2 here is a big ask under all this pressure.
Yeah, really difficult pin to get to today. James aiming at the middle of the green like Alex did there, and just unfortunately catching the slope and going the wrong way. Another 2 meters on and that would have been right up by the flag. Such a difficult pin position on 17.
So up ahead at the final hole, this is where McGinley has played his second shot too, and it really is one of those situations where he's got to put everything into trying to hold this.
Yeah, good lead from Paul. If you're going to miss the green, short and right, and that's a beautiful pitch, and welcomed and appreciated by the great crowds that were stood around this 18th green.
I think this event has really set the standard. It's a new benchmark for the Legends Tour, and events of this quality really do so much to enhance this circuit. Mark James not quite able to keep up the pace of yesterday, but what a fine effort it's been from him.
Yeah, just missing the bunker that eats into the front of this green. And a nice little pitch from Jesse there.
Tough putt, long putt, but Kingston could really make things interesting here with a moment of inspiration.
Catching the ridge, breaking from right to left. Beautifully judged from James. That wasn't easy at all. He made it look simple, but a very, very tricky putt. That's going to be a par 3 for James as he heads off to the 18th.
So Chaker with a chance to really take a firm grip on things now. He's got a putt to get to 12 under, but a very difficult one. I think he'd take 2 putts from here and just walk on.
Certainly up and over the ridge. It's probably about 3 feet high and judged beautifully there from Alex, but you could see with James before the frustration in there that he just couldn't get the tee shot close enough, which would have been a nice 2. Struggled for 2 putts. Slow putt here for Retief. Left of the hole, up the hill, breaking, and in it goes.
Yeah, never quite rekindled the fire of his opening 66 and couldn't get it going today, but 2 birdies in the last 4, a nice way to sign off on a 70 and a very solid week.
Well, unfortunately for Jesse, he's just gone past the hole here, so a little down the hiller with a touch of inside right here for him. Oh, beautifully done.
3 shots gone in the first 4, just about killed off any hopes of winning, but turned things around very nicely before fading again on the back 9. Set for a top 10 finish though. Very impressive work at 68 years of age.
Yeah, a bit annoying for the caddies when they leave the flag in when everybody else has had the flag out, but Alex's choice, great 3.
A lot more of them seem to leave it in on this tour than on the regular tour, I've noticed. Hopefully for Paul McGinley, this will be the last putt of an impressive week for someone who doesn't play a particularly busy schedule. He played the last 10 holes in 3 under, but probably needed to find 1 more birdie at least. Should finish in a share of 2nd at minimum. We'll see him again hosting at the Irish Legends. We'll hope for a similar turnout there. But it looks to be Chaker's time. Just needs to stay away from trouble on 18, and it should all be his. Here's what's in front of him, Paul.
Yeah, strong uphill par 4 to finish. Bunkers right in the middle of the fairway. The players have to draw the ball, move it from right to left off those bunkers to find the flat spot there. Overdo it and you're in the water hazard. And from the flat you've got quite a climb, maybe 12 to 14 yards in height up to the green that has those 3 segments there. The pin on 18 cut on the right hand side in this final round. Difficult hole, big tee shot here.
Yeah, barring something extraordinary happening, a bogey 5 would be enough to win.
That's an absolute ripper. High draw there from Alex. And that looks like it's a big carry. Wow, 278 uphill. Sensational tee shot from Alex.
In theory, Kingston can still win this, but realistically, he'll be thinking of a birdie to join McGinley in second place at the finish.
You see James has got the ball teed high, so he can hit it on the up and try and turn it around the corner. Not sure he's got the amount of draw that he needed there. Off-centre hit from James.
Chaker, in all probability, striding towards victory now. What a week those people have had. Chance to see so many stars of the game.
You can see James there on the uphill slope. Ball knee high, that's going to go left as he controlled it. Oh, he's played that beautifully. Now stop now, stop. Oh, no, 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 don't go past the hole here on 18. That's a wicked spot coming up for James, just because he didn't quite get the tee shot.
Well, this, the last moment at which anything really can conceivably go wrong. If he can get one good swing here, time to enjoy the walk.
Yeah, the tee shot there from Alex has made this a lot easier. Absolutely wonderful. And under the hole, onto the green. Couldn't have played this 18th much better than that. Well played, Alex Chaker.
And you earn the luxury of being able to play it that way with all the hard work done over the previous 3 days. So Kingston needs to chip this in to share runners-up spot.
This is a really tricky shot, just a little dink forward and hopefully just enough speed to get to the ridge. Go on, James. Oh, he doesn't like it. Oh my goodness. That's a horrible spot now. Things unravelling for James. What a shame.
Only one group left out on the course, so everyone gathered around it at this stage. Kingston looking to deliver a grandstand finish.
Down the slope, accelerating away, left to right. Go on, James, go on. Get in! Well done, James. How about that then, Michael, for a finish?
Yeah, wonderful way to round it off after really the last 2 days had been a bit of an anticlimax for him after that scintillating 62. No real momentum today for Kingston. He will share third place. So it's the luxury of 3 putts from here for Chaker, but he'd love to make this and shoot all 3 rounds in the 60s.
Nice putt for Alex. Up the hill, slow, going left to right. Gave it a go. He knows. What a feeling.
The outcome absolutely guaranteed now. And Alex Chaker is going to be the first ever winner of the JCB Championship. Nothing spectacular really about his final round, but there didn't need to be, because nobody else could quite do enough to reel him in.
What a great champion on a fantastic course, and a huge thanks to all at JCB for giving us the opportunity to play.
And the trophy and a payday of more than €87,000 are heading for Alex Chaker. McGinley claims second on his own. Clark backing up his major success with a top 3 finish, tied with South Africans Goosen and Kingston. But the week truly belongs to Alex Chaker.
Oh, it feels great. You know, any win is special, no matter where it is, on what continent. We had a strong field here. It's for the first time JCB hosted something like this, and I think everybody had a blast. The golf course was fabulous. The start was fabulous. And the players, I mean, look at the leaderboard, you know. I mean, one major champion, one Hall of Famer right next to each other. So, you know, I really played well all week long, and I'm just, you know, super happy that I brought it home.
4 times a winner on the regular European Tour, Chaker now a Legends winner in Europe for the first time. And it's a win which holds him into 4th place on the order of merit. Padraig Harrington still heads an Irish 1-2, but Clark has reduced the gap.
Huge success here at the JCB Golf and Country Club for this Legends debut, and congratulations to Alex Shaker. Paul McGinley hosts next in Donegal. We'll see you there.